Okay, kids, it's time for the season five premiere of the Fueled by Weird podcast, the only podcast where kindness is still the new punk rock. I'm Chris Daly, and today I'd like to welcome back to the show Mr. Jason Reeves. Jason, what's going on, man?
How's it going, man? Good to see you again.
It's going good, man. I'm happy we can make this happen again. You're joining the club. It's a very small club of two timers on Fueled by Weird, so I'm
Oh, wow.
happy to add you to the club.
Oh, awesome. So this is the season premiere, is
Yeah,
it?
man, season five.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Episode
Yeah.
101.
I was just on a pod with Al Mega. Do you know him?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was his 600th episode.
Dude, that dude
So
is
I
a
keep hitting
beast.
you guys' milestones. Like, that's
That dude's a
dope.
beast.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. Like I hit two milestones in the same week. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, man.
Like,
That's awesome. Yeah, he's an awesome dude. That guy is a beast when it comes to podcasting. And
yeah.
he's killing it, man.
He's like a machine, man. He's
Like
done
a
150 since I
right?
saw him last. That's crazy.
Right? I wish I could have that same kind of output, but maybe someday. Not right now though.
But 100 is crazy too,
Yeah, man.
especially when I think in terms of me. Like I
Yeah.
do not have I have consistency creation wise, but
Yeah.
like to get in front of the camera and to interview people and to like I don't know, man. Like I am so jealous of you guys. Like you guys are killing it.
It's been a process just over the last couple of years, just been able to be lucky enough to have lots of people want to come talk to me. So I'm happy to have whoever wants to come by.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Appreciate
Congratulations.
appreciate that, man. All right, so kind of like last time, I want to start things off with an icebreaker question. So today's question's a little bit of a hypothetical. So if you were a musician, because I don't know if you are or not, but if you were and you were going to start a band, what
Mhm.
role in the band would you play?
Oh wow. Um, I think I would be like a drummer. I
Okay.
prefer to be in the back.
Okay.
Like
I get
I
that.
like I like the creation.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm not a musician by the way, so
Okay.
forgive me if I
No,
don't
you're
know
totally
the
fine.
stuff.
Totally
But
fine.
I would want to write music and stuff. You hear about like
Yeah, yeah.
Phil Collins and Dave Grohl and stuff, and
Yeah.
how they're big parts of the team, if not some of the biggest guys, but they're in the back. At least
Yeah.
Grohl was in the back, during Nirvana. So I'm like, maybe I would play the back, but maybe I would write music and stuff too. Like I would want to do
Okay.
that. That's kind of
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
do in 133 art. I can draw the comics. I have drawn the comics, but I love to work with other creators. Um, and kind of help steer the ship, or if
Okay.
need be, steer the ship. You know?
I got that.
Yeah.
Right on.
So drummer. I'd
Nice.
be,
That's
yeah.
cool, man. I think I'd like to say I want to do that too, because I'm always like just sitting there just drumming on things all the time. I'm not a musician either, so I might mess things up too. It's all
Mhm.
good. Um,
Yeah.
but years ago, I entered a talent show at work, and
Mhm.
I chose to sing. And
Oh wow.
I didn't really think I'm not a trained singer at all, or I have no musical ability whatsoever. But I won the talent show, which is kind of awesome. So I've been told
Interesting.
I've been told I'm a decent singer. I'm very out of practice. I used to sing in the car all the time and just whatever, just sing along to the radio. So that's really all I've done. But I I used to kind of be like you where I'd want to be in the back and not be in the spotlight, but I've gotten better at it ever since I've started this podcast because
Mm,
I've kind of been in and out of podcasting for like the last decade-ish, and it's always just been audio only. And
mm,
by doing this podcast, it kind of got me in front of the camera and doing stuff in front of camera. And if you look at my social media, you don't see pictures of me very often unless it's someone that took a picture of me because I have
right.
this thing about being in front of the camera. And my dad was kind of the same way. But ever since starting this show, it's a lot easier for me to be on camera and look at myself. It's very hard to hear myself because the way you're hearing me is different than how I hear me. But
Right.
I'm getting more comfortable, being prominent and being out in the front. So that's probably what I would pick. I would be a singer.
Yeah. I don't like hearing myself either.
It's
Like I
awful, man.
like to think that I'm this smooth, deep voice talking cat, but then I
Yep.
hear myself and I'm like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Like
I'm the same
I'm
way,
like,
man.
"Nah, man."
The way I hear myself right now is 100% different than how you're hearing me, and it weirds me out every time. So going back when I edit stuff
Same.
like this,
So much.
it's so weird. But yeah,
Yeah, same. Absolute same. When
it's
I'm doing like stuff for like TikTok or whatever, I'm
yeah,
like, "Yo, who is this guy?"
right?
Yeah,
It's
totally.
weird. It's a trip, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right,
Yeah.
so summer's wrapping up. We're kind of getting toward the end. We're rolling into fall here in a couple weeks. So I just kind of want to ask, how's your summer been? Like, unrelated to any other creative stuff, like, have you done
Mhm.
anything fun? Like what have you been up to?
It's been relatively low key for what I guess we usually get into.
Okay.
Um, we kind of front loaded the springtime with like the big trip. We went to Hawaii
Oh, nice.
for the second time for spring break, and that was super cool.
Nice.
Summertime, my son is in Taekwondo. He's a martial artist. So
Okay.
he usually has nationals around June time. And so we
Yeah.
went to nationals in June. This year it was, it's usually in Florida, but this year it was in Utah,
Okay.
in Salt Lake City.
That's not
And
too far from where I am.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Dope.
I'm about 4.5 hours away.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And we had never been. So
It's nice.
that was kind of cool. He'd been training all year. He's um he's a black belt now
Nice.
and he did really well. He got a bronze medal in sparring.
Oh, nice.
So he's a national champ. He's been doing really well. Oh man, his discipline is just going up and up and up every year. And I'm very proud of him. And so we had a good time in Salt Lake. And what was crazy for us in Salt Lake was that there are the soda shops
Yeah.
and we had never experienced that. And we were like, soda shop, we've had soda before,
Yeah.
whatever. And so
They're
we go,
everywhere.
yeah. And my wife, Kimmy, she's like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, why? Like, she's like, too much sugar. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
Jason and I were like, yeah, we're going. So we go to the soda shop. I forget which one it is, but we go to a really good one.
Yeah.
And the drinks are super good. Like we
Oh,
got
yeah.
hooked on them.
Yeah.
Like the last day, like we went more than once. The last day was like, oh man, I gotta get the soda, you know? So it was really fun. There was this thing called the Dream Walk in one of the malls. It's
Yeah.
like this immersive experience, kind of like Omega Mart in Vegas.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
went to that a couple times, and that was really cool. You have to solve the mystery, and you walk through a portal, and you're in a different world, and it's all
Wow.
immersive. And I love that kind of stuff. Like I love, love, love it. So
Yeah.
we did that, and that was really cool. So we had a good time in Salt Lake.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
But other than that, it's been super low key.
Right on, man. Yeah, Salt Lake's a lot of fun. We've been a few times. There's lots of really cool stuff to do. And yeah, I live like 4 hours away, so it's a bit
Mhm,
of a drive, but not super far. But
mhm.
um last time we went, there's a place not super far from Salt Lake, maybe half hour or something like that, where there's like a dinosaur park where they have all these
Oh,
big like life-size recreations of dinosaurs, and you just walk around the park and you can see all these different dinosaurs.
mhm.
It's super cool.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What's
So
it called?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's a dinosaur park.
Dinosaur Park.
I'll
You
have to
know,
look it up and tell you. But it's
yeah,
fun.
I heard of one. We saw like billboards for them, I think.
Okay.
And we're always looking for something to do. Anytime we get back up there, that's probably gonna be one of the stops.
I'll look it up and shoot you a message with it. But it was a lot of fun. My
Yeah.
daughter was super big into dinosaurs, so it was really cool. And she has a YouTuber she watches that lives not in Salt Lake, but somewhere around there. I can't remember the city, but it's real close to Salt Lake, and they go there a lot, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, man,
Okay.
those soda shops are all over the place. And you
They
think
are.
just like what you said, like, we've had soda, like what's the big deal about a soda shop? But it's a whole thing, man. Like you get soda with different flavors in them and you mix and match stuff, and then they got like cookies and other like weird treats and stuff like that. It's like a
Yeah.
whole trip, man.
It's a whole thing, man. They were
Yeah.
like, you want jellies or you want like there's what is the puree stuff they put
Yeah,
in there?
man.
I'm like,
Yeah,
man, this is
yeah.
elaborate.
It's
So
crazy.
yeah. And my wife, she gets like the analysis paralysis when we're in the drive-through.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't know what I want. So I'm like, I'll pick for you. And we went through. But whatever I got for her, she was like, yo, I gotta get that
Yeah.
again and again and again. So we're missing the soda shops. We was like, they should have them in California now. Like,
I'm surprised they don't.
well, yeah, like so I think were they saying is it that in Salt Lake they have it because it's a big there's a lot of Mormons there
Yeah.
and they don't drink coffee, so there's
That
not
makes
there's
sense.
I think that's it. But there were coffee shops, I mean, modern era or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
but I think that's why those are so proliferated there, but I
That
could be
makes
wrong.
that
But
makes perfect sense.
yeah. So I want to shop here. I'm ready for them to put one around the corner because I would be there every day. Like,
Yeah, we've got some of the Mormon overlap where I live because I live in Idaho. So
okay.
depending on how you went to Salt Lake, you may or may not have driven through Idaho.
I don't
'Cause
think we did.
we're down in like the bottom. If you're looking at a map, we're down closer to the bottom right-hand corner of Idaho, so we're pretty close. But we've got a few of those here, and I've got a couple dangerously close to my house. So my youngest has made it a mission that we go at least once a week. So yeah, I'm very familiar, and I get the analysis paralysis thing, man, because you look and you just get completely overwhelmed with what all the different options and flavors and stuff. You just kind of just panic, man. I get it.
Yeah, it's a ton of them.
Yeah, I get it. Well, that's cool, man. So I kind of want to shift gears a little bit. Do you do any kind of video gaming at all?
Sparsely. Like I
A
just
bit?
don't have the time to get into stuff. Like I have a stack of games this high. Like I still haven't played Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man 2 for
Yeah.
the PlayStation 4. Like I have Miles Morales waiting on me. I like I played the By Dawn, is it called By Dawn? Something. It's a werewolf game, but it's
Okay.
like you choose almost like a choose your character's actions kind of game. I forget what it's
Oh,
called.
okay.
It's like a camp, and the kids go to the camp, and it turns out werewolves are like trying to kill them. I played that recently, and that game company makes a series of games, and the Until Dawn movie is from one of the games.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they make a ton of games. I got all those games stacked up. Um, I have uh I got a ton of crap just waiting on me to play. So I just once the Kickstarter's done, then I'll have time to
There you go.
like ease into another game.
There you go.
But I'm lame. The last thing I played through was Red Dead Redemption 2. And that was no, Mafia 3. And that was my
Okay.
second playthrough, right?
Nice.
Like, yeah.
So I bring that up because I'm in the same boat. I've
Mhm.
had an Xbox for a bunch of years, and for the longest time, it just sat as a decoration piece in my house because I never
Mm.
made time to play games, and my wife would like, "Hey, Robert, how's it going?"
It's
Hey.
it's going good. Have y'all started?
Yeah, we're not very
Yeah.
far. We're not very
It
far
was
yet, though.
4:30 hour my time. Yeah, we're just chopping it up.
Yeah,
It
man.
says yeah, it was like six. It says 6 o'clock, so that's 8 p.m. for me.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so that's
Is
yeah,
it
that's
8 p.m., 6 o'clock from my time? Because for
okay.
me it was
So
4:30.
it said the invite I got said 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. and then that's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for me.
Oh.
Yeah, so you were a little early, Jason, but I jumped on anyway because I saw that you were on. So yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
was 6 p.m.
Gotcha.
Mountain. So it's all good.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, you know
so
what? I scheduled myself for 4:30 so that I could be on time. That's what happened. So like what I do is so it was 5 probably, right? And then I hit it for I put myself in for 4:30 because I'm like, I don't want to be late. So I tricked myself. It worked. Hooray.
perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did start, but we're not very far yet. So
Oh,
Robert, welcome to the show, man.
hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. And it's a pleasure to have you. We've been Facebook friends for a little while, so I'm glad to finally, be able to talk to you face to face, kind of.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no worries. We kind of just barely got things kicked off, so you didn't really miss anything that much. We're kind
Okay.
of just talking about how summer's gone. So how's your summer gone so far? Now that we're kind of in the end of the end game.
It's it's been good. It's been busy, steady, which is good with the creative side of things, the client work. So I just had a show this past weekend, the Legion Comic Con. So it
Yeah,
was so yeah, I'm trying to get out of the house and stop being a hermit because once
I get that, man.
yeah, I was always joke that once COVID happened, I hadn't been doing shows as much, but yeah, just trying to get out there and just trying to write as much as possible. So
Nice. So we were just kind of talking a little bit about video games. Are you a gamer at all?
yeah, yeah, I actually right now we're running Wildgate, the Division 2. I still need to finish up South of Midnight, and I'm still running through that. I'm taking my time because I don't want the game to end. Anytime that you have a the black experience represented in a game as
Sure.
big as as big as this, or as a smaller like indie, it's just kind of cool seeing our culture represented. So I've purposely been taking my time. That probably won't get finished until the end of the year because I love the story that they're telling with that. But outside of that, I like shooting stuff. So like the Division 2, Wildgate, and occasionally like Streets of Rage 4. When I just want to do beat 'em ups or whatever. So,
I
but
I
looking forward to. There's another one called Jump Ship or Jump Gate, Jump something. It's another space game. But yeah, I try to game as much as possible, and mainly co-op games.
Right on. I get that. And I just it just clicked in my brain. I forgot you're one of the Facebook friends who talks about getting on Gears of War all the time. So I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of that kind of gamer too. I like to jump in and just get in and start like beating stuff up or just shooting at stuff because sometimes you don't want to go through all the steps of an RPG or you don't want to go through all the steps of trying to set up a character and look at story. You just want to get in and just start doing stuff. So I'm right there with you. But we were
Yeah.
talking about how, Jason hasn't made a lot of time for gaming because he's been busy, but he's planning once the Kickstarter's over to make some time. But I had brought it up because um, I was telling him I've had an Xbox in my living room for like 10 years because I don't make time for gaming myself. So it's just been a decoration piece. But it got to the point where it was the older version Xbox One, so it didn't play a lot of the newer stuff. So my wife,
Yeah.
I mean, Santa Claus got me an Xbox One X for Christmas, and she said, "You better make time to play this because this isn't cheap. We're not just gonna have this expensive thing just sitting in our house again." So I tried to make myself play a little bit more often, and my daughter got me into Fortnite
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
around the Star Wars season, and I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, this is kind of fun. I've avoided it for a long time because everyone said, Fortnite's a baby game. Is if you want to do a shooter game, go do Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever. And I played once with friends, and I was like, this. I was stupid for listening to those people. Fortnite is a crazy, amazing game, and I didn't play for a long time until my daughter's like, "Hey, I want to play. Let's go." So I played the Star Wars season. It was pretty fun. The superhero one was okay, but man, this new one with the Power Rangers. I mean, I think we're all pretty close in age. Generally speaking. So, you know,
Mm.
I'm sure we all grew up on Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. And Fortnite has Ninja Turtles in there now. They've got Power Rangers in there now. They're kind of just
Wow.
like slowly bringing back our childhood, man. So what do you guys think about, stuff we grew up with as millennials, you know, being introduced to the kids nowadays? What do you guys think about that?
I think it's cool. I mean, I think in order for like lore and mythology and all our stuff to exist, we have to
Yeah.
keep reintroducing it and keep repackaging it. Um, I would hope that they love it as much as we have, so that there's like a kind of respect for it. I
Yeah.
think the only thing is there's so many bells and whistles on games now. Like my kid plays Roblox
Yeah.
and he gets some of that stuff, but there's so many bells and whistles on Fortnite that he's more into the screen moving than anything. Like there's this
Yeah.
one game, this one mobile game he plays, and it's just a whole bunch of thousands of moving pieces and crap on the game. And I'm like, what are you even doing on this game? And he's like, no, it moves and you have to hit. And I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. So that's kind of a drawback.
Okay.
Like those screens are designed to keep them engaged and like, mentally like hooked to the screen. It's like video
Yeah.
game crack, even more so than I guess they said ours were.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no story, but I would hope that like with Fortnite, there's a little bit more story and a little bit more respect to go into it. I've seen some of the Fortnite stuff like sort of on the periphery of it, and
Yeah.
it looks cool. Like when I see people play Fortnite on YouTube and he's watching one of his shows or whatever, and they're like beating each other up, or Blade has like a bazooka or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. I guess if you could fight Blade versus Wolverine or whoever. Um, but I'm an RPG guy, so I want story.
I
Like
get
I
that.
want to follow these characters and build them up and stuff. And I guess there's some of that, but as long as they can enjoy it and respect it, I can dig it. Like do what you
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of story in Fortnite. It's mostly just
Yeah.
you drop in, you just kind of just it's a lot it's a shooter game for sure. Uh,
Right, right, right.
there are different options in there where there's other creator made games where you can go and kind of make your own games, and that's some of where the
Yeah,
craziness comes in. And the
yeah.
game company has some of their own mods too. Like there's one that's almost identical to Guitar Hero, where you kind of
Wow.
it has the same mechanics where you push the buttons like on Guitar Hero. You can pick, singer, guitar, bass, or drums, and so you can kind of live out being in so it's more like not Guitar Hero, but more like Band Hero, I guess, where you can kind of
Hmm.
pick what position you play, and you don't when you sing, you don't actually sing, but you kind of push the buttons to coordinate where the song bits come in. So it's kind of a lot of fun, and the different things like the Power Rangers, who if you haven't seen them, look incredible, by the way.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
they've got the OG Rangers for
Mhm.
sale, and then they've got what they call the Battle Pass, where you can earn a bunch of stuff throughout the season. And the top of the season, this season, you get the Green Ranger, and you get the option to get the White Ranger as well. And then next month, they're gonna unlock Megazord, so you can be the Megazord, which is dope
Wow.
as hell.
Are they bigger than the other characters, or are they like the
They
same size?
so they haven't said with Megazord yet. I think they're kind of going to do both ways. So I think they're going to do an oversized skin that you can play with. It's going to be maybe slightly bigger. Like I got the Fantastic Four recently, and I play as the Thing, and he's kind of a little bit bigger than some of the characters. But
Mm.
with Megazord, I think they're going to do that. But I've heard they're also going to do a thing where you can grab a charm and you can actually like transform into Megazord. So it'll be a big giant that you can kind of go through and do stuff. They did that similar on the Star Wars season where you can grab this icon and you can jump into a Star Destroyer, and for like a minute and a
Oh
half you can
wow.
just blast stuff throughout the field. It's pretty ridiculous
Good
and pretty
Lord.
crazy, but it's a lot of fun. Robert, what do you think about all this stuff coming back?
So I was gonna say, so I love the fact that they are, like Jason was saying, they're I guess maybe showing respect, to what's
Yeah,
come before, as far as like with, Power Rangers, all these different bits of IP that we grew up loving. And you can apply, you can put the skin on and then jump in and just, kick butt,
yeah,
as these various characters. It's funny that you mentioned the Power Rangers one, because I've just been watching like two or three playthrough videos of people teaming up as the different rangers and then
Yeah.
like doing the poses and then dancing. I saw one where it was obviously, they had kind of staged it, but somebody jumped into the middle of their like group of Power Rangers and it wasn't a Power Ranger and then they just beat them down
Yeah.
and that was the best. They had just beat them up. And then there was one where I saw somebody was playing as an enemy, and then the enemy had beat all the Power Rangers, and all of a sudden you see the Turtles van come and hit the villain, and then the
I
Power
saw that
Rangers
one.
get up, and then they team up with the Ninja Turtles, and they beat up the villain, and then they all
Yeah.
Good
start like
Lord.
doing their emotes or whatever. So all that to say, and then I've even watched some of the in-universe concerts that
Yeah.
they do, like the big reveals. With I think there was one, it was one of the rappers I can't remember, but I remember there was one with Snoop Dogg before the support of Drumpf, but
Yeah.
where he was a part of it. And so I think what amazes me more about that whole game is the ability to get all of these different IPs, and because
Oh
they're
yeah.
obviously buying, purchasing them from the different or licensing them or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's the closest thing that we will ever get to Ready Player One.
Oh,
and
for
that's
sure.
Mm.
and that's kind of what it seems like to me.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is like what we grew up with, Roger Rabbit, or like Marvel versus DC, like this is
Yep.
the closest that we will ever get to that, because
Yep.
these companies don't want to play. But like for this game, which is very popular, like I have a niece who loves Fortnite, like she plays it. I personally don't like PvP. I
I get
prefer
that.
like the co-op, like PvE.
Yeah.
I know I can get my butt handed to me. The last time I ran PvP in Destiny 2, it was ugly. So I know my limits. Like I will run with some friends and they'll be like, Robert, we carrying you. I don't care. I'm here with friends. I don't give a, whatever. But
Yeah.
Fortnite is it's it's amazing to me that it's as popular as it is, and it brings in so much like different terms of fandoms. Like you said, Star Wars, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. That's just a huge way of marketing. Even somebody that we know, the Tuskegee Heirs team, shout out
Oh,
to Greg Burnham and Marcus Williams,
yeah.
they've built their own Tuskegee Heirs Island in that world, in that
Oh,
Fortnite.
nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah, yeah,
neither.
yeah.
That's
So like
rad.
I have yet to visit it because I don't want to get sniped as soon as I jump into the game. But I hear that I that's a pretty cool way of marketing their work to the
Yeah.
to gamers, to a generation that might not necessarily know anything about. And that's another thing that I appreciate, is that they're bringing stuff that we grew up with that kids don't know about, or they might hear about if us old folks are talking about it, but they can now interact with it within the context of a video game. So I think that's smart. But also at the end of the day, they're making money, hand
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
fist. But
Yeah. Sure.
yeah, all that said, it's something that's very interesting to me. And I like that it's still as popular as it is. Like seeing Power Rangers, like if they start bringing in the different uniforms or the costumes from the different eras,
Yeah.
I might jump in. I might give it a shot.
Yeah, I
So,
get that. I know
and
there's a
then
lot
just
of
get,
people holding out for that.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I think it's I think I like the concept, and I like the fact that it's as popular as it is, with kids that are younger than us. So
Yeah.
Tell me if y'all know of this game. I keep forgetting the name of it. I keep trying to look it up. There's this. It's a side scroller, but it's like a ex yakuza or something, ex gangster guy in Japan, and he has like a sword, and it looks like an old school side scroller. Like the characters are almost chibi, and it's for like the Nintendo Switch. I think it's on Steam too. I'm trying to remember the name of the game. It's like super brutal, but it looks super kiddie. Like there's blood and everything. He's diving out of buildings and cutting people. And I'm like, I want to play that game.
Yep. I want to
But
do
I
that
can
too. I don't
never
know what it's
remember.
called.
I can never remember what the game is called. I saw it on Facebook one time,
Yeah.
and I clicked on the button, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna play that when when I'm done with this Kickstarter after the summer."
Yeah.
And I gotta find it again. But that game looks cool as hell. Like that's what I
yes.
want to play. Like,
That sounds awesome. I love how the side scrollers are coming back too, like with the
yeah,
Power Ranger
Yeah,
side
yeah,
scroller and Ninja
yeah.
Turtles and all that stuff. It's rad, man.
There's
yeah, totally.
the one I'm excited about is Marvel Cosmic Invasion,
Oh
because
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the X-Men arcade one and
Yeah.
It's like that
the
old Avengers game. Remember that
yep,
old Avengers
mhm,
game?
Hmm.
Yeah.
yep, yeah. And
I
it's
love
done by the
those.
same people who did TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Like I can co-op I can talk about all day. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
co-op games or, the shooters or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's as much as the retro is coming back in a way, in various respects.
Hmm.
Sometimes people say that's because Hollywood doesn't have any new ideas and they have to keep pulling back from the past. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I grew up with this stuff, so I can balance the new stuff with the older stuff. But yeah, it's I'm enjoying all of it.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, I've actually played co-op a few times on Fortnite. My cousin will jump in sometimes, or uh, Mike Hardigan Swinburne, shout out to him, another amazing comic artist. He'll jump in and we'll play sometimes. We don't play with a mic sometimes, which is kind of confusing and makes things a little bit difficult, but it's a lot of fun though for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so speaking about, the Legion Comic Convention, Robert, I know you just hit that up recently. How did that go?
It was good. We had it was steady traffic. I'm finding that um I like doing more of the smaller mid-sized conventions and especially local. Sometimes it's, cost related, but
Yeah,
it as with this one, you're meeting people who aren't familiar with your work, and that's a good thing. It also helps me to learn how to speak with people, more. So
okay.
I'll always say, like, my greatest strength is being able to write. I can talk or whatever, but it also but it so with all that said, it's a good way to go out and just like meet people and network and get the work out to people because we get sometimes drowned out with, and I think Jason, like I said, Jason can speak to this with the algorithm and of it all, whatever.
Yeah,
So you don't sometimes people miss you, right? For as much as you might be out on the interwebs like yelling, to the into the ether, sometimes the best way to get in front of people is to literally get in front of people.
yeah,
And I appreciate shows like the Legion Comic Con because it's organized by folks who understand that sometimes people's only interaction with like pop culture and geek culture will be driving to a Legion post, an American Legion post for a 1 day convention.
yeah.
And so at that point, it's just like, let's maximize getting the material out to them as much as possible. So it was a good show, I think, for a variety of reasons. And I had a good time. I had a good time with it. I got another one coming up in September. Um, and then I don't know if that'll be it for the year, but yeah, I usually try to do like the smaller, um, mid-sized shows. The larger shows, not so much, but maybe 1 day. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good weekend.
That's cool, man. I've heard
Oh,
from a lot of other creators that sometimes those smaller shows end up being a lot more fun just because they're smaller and they can be a lot more personal, gives you more like face-to-face time with people.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
totally.
And Jason, you just recently wrapped up your trip at San Diego Comic-Con, my man. How did that
Yeah.
go?
I only do the big shows. Now I'm just playing. Um, Now that was cool. So I've been going to Comic Con since like '05, right? I've only missed maybe 2 years in that time. So I'm always at Comic Con. At this point, though, unless I have something going, I only want to do 1 or 2 days because how do I not sound like an asshole? I'm over the floor.
I get it. I've never been, but I've heard that it's kind of exhausting.
It's so let me preface. It's
Okay.
not exhausting because I love comics and I love comics media, right?
Yeah.
I love all that shit. But I'm over the floor because it's kind of other than like other instances where there's cool, I'm into packaging now and setups now. So if there's a cool setup, then I'm like, yo, I need to see that. Like
Yeah.
the Funko Town is always a good look. last year, not this year, but last year they had Lego had a blockbuster set up in there.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was cool as hell. Um, but other than that, I'm over the floor a lot of times. So, and it's long. Other than going to see friends or whatever. So I can only tolerate about, I hate to sound like an old man. I can only tolerate about 2 days of it. And I'm in the best shape I've been since I was a young
Yeah.
man. But I just don't wanna unless I go and I have a panel and a signing or something, and I could put my sunglasses on, show up like a rock star, talk to people, and then go play. But this year I went and it was dope. Like it was dope. Jason and I went for the second year in a row, and it's so cool to have him be old enough to experience it and have a good time. He's over it now, by the way. He's He's like, yeah. I'm like, you want to go? He's like, yeah. I said we could ride the train. He's like, yeah, okay. I like the train. I'm like, what about the convention? But so we went. We had a great time. And the cool thing about it was he helped me shoot my Kickstarter video. So most of the shots of me talking in front of the camera, he shot it. So
That's
that was
cool.
really cool, like in a father son kind of way.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of friends, David Crownson from Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, Uraeus was there from Jason Wise and Stranger Comics, Sebastian from Stranger Comics, like anybody who's, able to get to the West Coast and my people, I want to see them. Missed a couple of people, but I also got to meet Kadeem Hardison this year, aka Dwayne Wayne from a different world. So
Wow. That's
that
cool.
was one of the milestones. I don't get starstruck often. I don't even want to meet celebrities necessarily often,
Yeah.
but that dude is like a touchstone almost of like childhood and growing into adulthood and just
Yeah.
everything. And we lost Malcolm Jamal Warner that same week.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know I needed it. But just to dap him off and tell him how much he means to the community, but also to me personally, was just invigorating, man. Like, so that was a high point. And he told a story about him and Malcolm during the Black Heroes Matter panel that we sat in on. And man, it was just like a little bit of salve to that wound. And I didn't know I needed it, but it was great. It was
That's cool,
great.
man.
So had a good time. I haven't yet been able to get on the floor and actually sell comics, but I really don't necessarily want to do like an artist alley or small press kind of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe one day, maybe me and a group of creators can get on to like a vendor booth and really like put our money together and get something a little big and then do
Yeah.
that. And that would be cool. But that's kind of those two ways are the only way I kind of want to experience it from now on because it's so big and because it exerts that amount of energy, which is fine. But there has to be a really good return for it, I think.
Sure.
So yeah, it was fun. I say all that to say it was fun.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you had a good
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Now, I also have to ask because I saw it all over social media and I saw him in the background in a couple of your pictures. That
Uh,
giant Galactus, man. How was that in real
dude,
life?
that thing is cool as dude. That dude was on stilts. He was like
Yeah.
10 feet, 11, 12 feet high. And when you see him stomping down, they have to part the Red Sea for that cat. And he's walking down and he has a few people in front of him like, excuse us, part ways, like Galactus is coming. And he had like a herald. I don't know if it was in canon herald, but there was like another, I think it was a lady, I don't know, but there was another herald. They had light sort of armor on. I don't know if it was a canon herald, like it was a Marvel Comics herald, but
Yeah.
they were parting the ways for him. And I was like, man, this is so cool. It was a really cool, like best cosplay of the year kind of deal.
That's
Like,
cool.
there was another guy who did Mr. Terrific, and I
Okay.
had to dab that dude off too. I was like, yo, that's That's nice. That's nice. So I took a picture with that
Awesome.
guy too. And those I again, I like cosplay. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I usually don't stop for it. Like I look at it, I take it in, and I'm like, I'm gone. But that Galactus is a spectacle. Like
Yeah.
kudos to the guy that came up with it. I saw like videos online of them making it.
Yeah.
Also is really cool. But man, I was like, are they affiliated with the con, or did they just tell them they were coming, or like what was the deal? Because they
Yeah.
made a big deal of it, and it was super cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw the process videos of him like putting the costume on
Yeah.
at SDCC, and I just it was a lot of work. And then when I saw him pop up in your pictures, I'm like, all right, I gotta ask him about that, how it was. That's rad
Man,
though.
it's the coolest thing ever to see in person. Like
That's
I
cool.
maximum effort, like really good.
That's cool. All right, gentlemen. So we are here to talk about your guys' book, One Nation Arc, #1 Omnibus. So for those that don't know about it, who haven't heard about it before, why don't we take a minute to talk about what it is?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So One Nation arc, the Omnibus is the first arc of One Nation, and it contains about 300 plus pages. It contains the first nine outings of One Nation. It is the first complete story of the One Nation series, the One Nation ongoing series. Uh, Mr. Jeffrey here is the main writer, along with Alvern Ball, uh, and Greg Anderson Elise, and we got a couple of others along the way, um, and with us. And One Nation is about the 10th, aka the 10th Foundation. They're a philanthropic organization, but they're revolutionary minded superheroes. They have powers. So they're not just activists, they're activists with muscle. And they are not afraid to stand up for the beliefs or the agenda that they're trying to push forward. And hilarity ensues when the villains of the world, or the people with the machinations in the world, decide that these people are not great for their interests. And that's the journey we're going on in One Nation. Paragon is our lead character, and he's a very powerful Superman archetype, but he's sort of learning where his loyalties lie throughout this. And Sundiata is the other main. He's the head of the 10th Foundation, and he's trying to recruit Paragon, but also the U.S. government is trying to recruit Paragon and these other interests. Everybody wants a piece of the most powerful man on the planet. Indira is also our third main, along with Stronghold, our fourth main, and they're a part of the 10th Foundation. And as you go through the series, you find out what part they represent, along with the Stronghold series, which is a spinoff of the main One Nation series here. So, One Nation is like, let's say, if I had to pitch it for a movie, I would say X-Men meets Black Panther meets Invincible.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Robert, what about you? What do you want to contribute to this talking about One Nation?
I was a fan before. I was a fan before getting a chance to contribute to the universe. It, I think, once again, Jason put it perfectly. It's superheroes with kind of a revolutionary, focus, but also for the community. Like it's that thing of they are they are definitely going to go out and whoop butt, if needed, but
Yeah.
they're going to establish a community center, or a food bank,
Right.
um, a shelter, or providing these things to help civilization grow in the best ways. I On a previous interview I'd watched, it was the comparison was like the Black Panther Party, how they
Mm.
helped the community, you know. So it's like applying that ideal to, you know, something like X-Men. You know, I say X-Men versus the less and more so than the Avengers, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
um
absolutely.
and you know, this is truly the world that hates and fears anybody who is of a certain hue and a certain sexuality and a certain sex, you know, having these abilities. And like I said, so for all of those reasons, I remember being a fan of One Nation before, you know, jumping on with, you know, contributing to this world. So I don't want to say it's rare to say that, because I've had an opportunity to contribute to with other publishers things that I've been a fan of, but I always think of that as a blessing, because I can definitely get gig work for stuff I'm not familiar with, but to be able to get a chance to contribute as a gig or as a you know, architect or whatever you want to say, has been huge. So but that's what One Nation is to me. And as a fan also of omnibuses or omnibuy or whatever you want to call them, I'm
I'll be
glad
by.
we're able to get this out to readers, because one of the things that's been very impressive, and I don't, hopefully I'm not jumping ahead, is the fact that there's so much content that has been building up, and there's even content that's ready to be released. So um and in indie comics, sometimes that's a rarity, you know. It's just the nature of the industry sometimes.
Yeah.
So kudos to every creator who can do that. But because I'm working with 133 Art, kudos to Jason, Kimmy, um, whoever. I always forget the name of the lady who helps out with the marketing and social media.
Roland.
Roland, yeah, Roland, to the team. I think it's a major accomplishment that this Kickstarter even exists, that you have the content to get here. So it's like a testament to the company, you know, to you know, all that, and just the brand for One Nation. So, and it's also something that we need now, because I got the news flashing in front of my face right now. It's like, oh Lord, lordy, lordy, lordy. It's
Yeah.
like God. Um, Try to stay happy, but yeah, that's One Nation to me. I talk a lot, so
Oh, you're good, man. You're
yeah.
good. I like this show to be more about, you know, less about me talking and more about you guys talking. So that's perfectly fine.
Dig
Um,
it.
so let's talk about how, you know, you guys were able to join up in the first place for you to be able to contribute to One Nation. Did you have like a pitch that you went to Jason with, like, hey, I have this idea for a story? Like how did that all work out where you guys were able to join up together?
So and I know I've told this story before. So I went through the um I was a part of the 2017 DC Comics Writers Workshop,
Mhm.
and when I finished it up, um one of the publishers that reached out to me was 133 Art. Jason hit me up and said, "You want to do some work?" You know, so that's literally that's literally it. So the first thing, because he is very straightforward, he's like, "You want to work?" And it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is cool. And it's always appreciated. So the first series that I worked on with 133 Art was Retcon, right? So correct me if
I
I'm wrong.
think
So
so, yeah.
Retcon, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Afrofuturist time travel adventure story, definitely go and check it out. And then I think from there, after that, it was either Changa or One Nation. But after
Think
start, was it One Nation, or was it, or did Changa
maybe
come after that?
maybe maybe Changa first.
Okay, so
Man,
Retcon,
it's so
Changa,
muddled at this point. Like it's so many
yeah,
series. I don't even remember. I think it was Changa first though. I mean,
gotcha.
we'll correct that later, but I think
Yeah,
it was Changa.
yeah. When we're doing the making of
Yeah, yeah.
the
We'll tell
behind the
the truth
scenes.
some other time.
But the truth was, it wasn't Changa. It
Right,
was,
right.
that type of thing. So, but eventually, I got brought on board with One Nation, and um Jason, it's like I said, he and Alvern and the various artists and everybody has already built this amazing universe. So when Jason, sat me down and we talked about where he wanted to go with the series, I was like, okay, when can I start? So that was the thing of, um, it didn't, like, I come from Milestone Media. Like I love that. Like when that was my
Yeah.
first socially conscious comic book, like, next to X-Men. So for me, One Nation was that. And when we started talking about, you know, news stories, existing, like I think One Nation Gauntlet was based on a short story that had been written. Shout out to Damian Gonzalez. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I was already in the trenches with 133 art, and this was, I just added another round to the chamber. It just started shooting. Um, so yeah, these are the superhero stories that I want to tell, and so I was happy to get that opportunity. And but like I think I've told Jason, you and Kimmy before, it was very much appreciated how y'all just reached out to me after I came into that workshop when a lot of folks weren't. So I've always been appreciative of that. So
Nah. I mean, I've, we were homies before that.
yeah.
And we definitely, sort of met each other online and kind of fellowshipped and, in the community and stuff. And I've always liked Robert's work. I've always loved Route 3.
Oh, me too.
Mine to Avenge was like, that kind of blew my mind. Um, Still want to publish that. But Mine to Avenge like blew my mind. And at that point I was like, yo, I want to work with him. And at the time I was looking for a writer to collaborate with on the further adventures. Like I decided that it should be an ongoing series at that point. And I wanted to collaborate with somebody, and I've always loved this man's work. So I just hit him up. Like I feel like the best way to do it is just to state it plain.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was just like, "Yo, you want to work? Let's work." And tell me what are your numbers? What do you charge? Let's go. And so we did. And it was really it's been a fun ride. Um Robert takes very well to my whacked out ideas and all the changes and revisions and edits and stuff. So I give him mad props. And me changing things and doing things is not a testament to his writing ability because that is supreme. It's
Yeah.
me sort of figuring out still where I want to go. I said this on another pod. The cool thing about indie comics and this place that we're in is that we can grow with the readers and with the content. And I think the more our base gets akin, the more our fans gets akin to us growing and being able to create, and the more the better we get at it, you'll get these rich, super rich stories. So
Sure.
I love that. I'm always preaching about letting creators grow into their craft. And we are literally, that's what we're doing here. We're growing into the craft. We're growing into the story of Paragon and the 10th Foundation. And when we're successful at it, like we were successful in Stronghold and previous campaigns, I get excited. I get ideas. I know what I want to do. And then real life sort of gives you ideas and dictates the direction that you want to go in. And man, we're living in a time of fascism, and these heroes, they're perfect to stand in front on the front lines and say, "Yo, we done with that." So, my thing is these heroes, the 10th Foundation, we, in media, we've dipped our toes for decades maybe more, for maybe a century or two into dystopia in media and fiction. And I want to dip our toes into utopia or protopia now. Like, let's do that. Let's figure out how to make this work in a way that benefits people. And if we do that through our mythologies, aka our superheroes, then maybe that'll proliferate through media and through culture and society. So I'm gonna try to do that. I want to do something a little bit different. There's always the days of future past mindset. There's always I was watching Eyes of Wakanda. I finished it last night. Beautiful show. Shout out to Jeff Thorne and Todd Harris. Man, mwah, good job, guys. And this is not a critique of how great you two are, but the I come back from the future, a desolate future to save the past. I don't necessarily want to do that anymore. Not in that particular way. I want to dip my toes into Protopia. And that was a concept that a little while back I kind of adopted for the series, but also kind of for my own personal mindset. So Utopia, we all know, is the perfect world, right? The perfect
Yeah.
outcome for humanity. Everything works, everything's perfect, and we wake up and we do whatever we want, and we float to Mars or whatever the hell. And that's great, but that seems so unattainable. I think even mentally, like humans just, it's like, remember in the Matrix when Smith says, we created a perfect matrix and you humans wouldn't accept it. Maybe we won't accept utopia because it's too perfect. But the idea of protopia is that we're working towards a better future. So information and ideas can change our idea of what utopia can be in real time. So I think protopia makes more sense for humanity in general and just me personally, because I like the idea of building and working towards a positive outcome and just forever doing that. Like you don't I don't think we have to obtain it. And I think mentally if we think we're gonna obtain it, then something is gonna be there's something in us that makes us not accept it. So keep working towards the thing. So One Nation, one of the underlying themes, one of the characters, Sundiata, is a protopian. The same way Tony Stark is a futurist. Um, and he's always working towards the best outcome or the better end. And he knows that that work will never be done, but he's going to keep plotting and planning towards that. So I love that idea. And it just works with my philosophy of comics, of building into your craft, and just of building a better world. So yeah, that's kind of what I love about being able to do this and being indie, you know?
Yes, sir. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys got this book on Kickstarter right now. It's going until September 4th. Make
Yes.
sure you click the link, check it out. It looks an amazing book.
Oh,
We'll make sure
thanks.
we get the link shared out so everyone knows about it who doesn't already know. And like we talked about before, you've already funded. So
Mhm.
congratulations to already funding.
Thank
That's
you.
incredible.
Thank you.
Um, why don't we take a minute to talk about what you got available in the Kickstarter?
Sure enough. So we got a ton of stuff available. Again, this is a 300 plus page comic. It collects 9 issues of One Nation. You get a full story, totally bingeable, right? You get to learn and grow with these characters over that amount of over 9 issues. Um, we have a digital version of the omnibus. We have a soft cover version, which 133 Art will print in house. We finally have the capabilities to print paperback books, which is really cool. I
Nice.
bought the equipment after our last successful Kickstarter. So if we're
Nice.
successful here, more equipment, building out, protopian ideas all day, every day.
Hell yeah.
We're offering a hardcover, and my favorite tier of the Kickstarter is the hardcover, the signed hardcover version that allows you to pick your own dust jacket. We have 4 variants of dust jackets for the hardcover, and you
Wow.
get to pick whichever one you want through the different four versions. And we're printing the dust jackets in house as well. So we're doing a bunch of new things in house from 133R Printing. Also, we have a dope hoodie, and I've seen the thing. I product tested it, and it is a hoodie with the image of the cover on the front and the back. It's all over, and that thing is just dope. So if you're into hoodies, you should really like look into getting that tier. And we've partnered with Glen Forge Studios, which is a new 3D modeling company and sculpting company, and we've created a Paragon chibi figure as a 6-inch Paragon chibi figure, and he's gonna be real substantial, full color figure, and it's gonna be really dope. So yeah, and you can get the entire One Nation catalog. That's every piece of apparel and comic book and model that we have for $2,000. So if you're like a super collector, that's like the ultimate collection, hit us with that. Oh, last thing. We have two pairs of shoes.
I
We
was
have the
gonna say, what
Paragon
about them shoes,
ones.
man?
Yeah. We have the Paragon ones, high tops. They're pink and fuchsia. If you go on the campaign, you'll see me modeling them. I love those shoes. And we have the Paragon 2s, which are our newest version, that just came out with this campaign. And they're sort of like fatigue military issue Paragon shoes. Both of the shoes come with dog tags from Paragon, our main character. And man, we're trying to add as much value to the series and to your reading as we can. So yeah, it's pretty dope. It's a pretty dope
Very
campaign, I
cool.
think.
And that's cool. I always like how Kickstarters give you options to pick up other issues you don't have, or
Yeah,
catch up issues
yeah,
and stuff. That's cool that you kind of just let's give them everything they can get, and if we just let them
yeah.
grab whatever they can get, and that's cool. I like that a lot.
We always put a lot of add-ons. There's also the Stronghold series from last year as add-ons. We have trading cards, series one trading cards. I'm thinking we're gonna do series two. If we make enough, I might even make it as a stretch goal, but I really want to do so our first series of trading cards were like the X-Men cards. There were 9 cards in it, and it formed one image of
Nice.
Stronghold
Yeah.
and his team, which was really cool. Um, I gotta turn that off. Um, but also I want to do more cards and more sort of character cards in it with like little bios and stuff like that. So maybe series two if we make enough money on the campaign, you know?
Very cool. I was a big fan of those Marvel cards growing up too.
Yeah.
Just how you have the nine that all kind of go together in one big
Oh
scene.
man.
That was good times in the 90s, man. Good times.
The Jim Lee, the
Yep.
Jim Lee cards.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was looking. Did you see the Jim Lee? So there's a book on the Jim Lee cards.
Really.
So there's every card. They sort of did like a making of almost kind of book of the
Oh,
Jim Lee
nice.
X-Men from the 90s. And
Yeah.
instead of going back, I almost went back and bought all the cards, but then I was like, no, I saw the book and I was like, that thing is really cool. So yeah, you should check it out if you see it.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
every card, and then it's Brevoort and everybody involved in Brevoort wrote most of the cards, which I
Oh,
didn't know,
yeah.
which was interesting. But they talk
That's
about the
cool.
making of it. Jim is talking about how rigorous it was. So that was really cool. You should check that out.
Yeah, for sure. I had almost the entire
If
set.
you're like a process junkie like me,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Anytime I start any kind of a new
yeah,
fandom, I always have to go like all the way to the beginning. I have to learn like everything about it, like how you came up with this, why this is the way it is. So yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
yeah,
Very cool.
absolutely.
All right. So, when this wraps up, what do we got planned coming next that you can talk about?
Oh man. So 2026 is gonna be the year of Changa. Chang
Okay.
and the Jade Obelisk, we are we're cooking up issue number 4, maybe issue number 5, maybe an omnibus. I haven't decided yet, but if we decide to just go ahead on and finish it, and we're thinking 5 issues for the finish, we might just sell it all at the same time. I'm not sure. I got to talk to Milton about it, but we got a couple things cooking for Changa that might fit nicely into a big volume. And
Nice.
other media ideas for Changa too, especially in terms of Milton. He's over there in Atlanta. Milton Davis is the creator of Changa, by the way, for those that don't know. And we teamed up with him to create the comic series. 133 Art and MV Media is his company. And he's over there doing all kind of shit. So once we have another one of our big convening meetings about it, we'll figure out where we're going to go. But 2026 is the year of Changa for 133R for sure. So we're going to be figuring that out. Depending on the success of this campaign, uh, there will be more One Nation. We got a lot ready to go. If we hit our stretch goal at 7.5K, we're going to have issue 1 and issue 2 re-lettered. Um, the early backers of this campaign, the VIPs, are going to get a holofoil edition of One Nation #1 signed. And there's a holofoil card that they're getting. So that's going to be cool.
That's cool.
That's Kickstarter exclusive, though. And maybe a card game. I'm thinking. I can't say too much about that, but we're
Okay.
thinking of this is not One Nation or Changa related, but just like a card game. We want to get into the tabletop market. So we're talking about a few things with other publishers, and we'll figure that out. But yeah,
Very cool. Robert, what about you,
I don't
man?
know what Robert's got cooking for next year.
What's coming up that you can talk
Um,
about?
well, I guess 133 art related.
Sure.
Anything One Nation, that comes up. We
Well,
I've
Changa's
been
yours too. I
well, yeah,
mean,
Well, that's what I say. Changa's mine. One of the things I was going to say, One Nation related, was Jason and I have been, kind of talking about a YA series,
mhm.
Okay.
which is something that um, will fall really big into my wheelhouse with the concept that
Yeah.
we were kind of pitching back and forth. So that's something, Tonga. Also, Jason, you can hear it here. I'm working on the Crossing issue 3. I was just working on it yesterday. So
Nice.
yeah, so we
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yes.
That's definitely gonna be a big volume book there. When we go back, so we did a Kickstarter for the Crossing a few years ago, I think right before the pandemic,
Yeah.
and we kind of got off the rails with that. But when we come back for the Crossing, that's gonna be a collected edition as well. So
Yeah.
uh Mario messaged me about more work, and I'm like, Mario Teresi is our main artist on One Nation, but he's also our new artist on the Crossing if we can sync up our schedules. And again, depending on how much we continue to build our capital on these Kickstarters, I want to get him in one shot and just let him
Yeah.
run on the Crossing. So um man, indie comics really works on what you can budget for. And we're out here like when you give money to corporations, you know, you don't know where the money is going, but with us, with these sort of smaller indie companies, I can tell you anything we make on One Nation goes back into the company, and it goes back into making more content that we can sell uh and give to our fans, so give to our base. And that's what we're in the business of doing. So One Nation money goes back into One Nation, but it also goes back into stuff like Changa. It goes back into the Crossing, and all these different artists that we work with, including Robert, including Mario, including myself and Milton, all kind of eat off of that capital. So we're like an ecosystem here. So, long as people keep supporting us and lifting us up, that's the longer we can do it and the better we can do it, right? This
There you go.
edition is sort of like the best version of One Nation that we've been able to create.
Very
I
cool.
think, and the only other things that I can think of is shout out to the Steam Superheroes series. Working on the second issue of that, which is working with a nonprofit to tell STEAM related adventures focused on using science to save the day. And trying to get Route 3 back out there to finish that up. Jason he's been on my back about that, and starting a new series with I always say my Italian brother from another mother, Matteo Illuminati. We're working on a young adult space opera, so
Very cool.
I think the goal is to try to get back into doing more of the creator own work, and just working on other client work, which hopefully we can start announcing next year. But yeah, so it's but yeah, that's what I have going right now.
Right on. All right. Well, one last thing before I let you guys go. Jason, since you've been on the show before, usually what I ask second time guests, what's a bit of advice you'd share with the people out there about a Kickstarter? Any kind of advice related to Kickstarter?
Um, I've been on a journey for the past 2.5 years, and one of the main things I've learned, other than learning how to market, PR, and budget, and shout out to Melissa Mazarios, who introduced us actually.
Melissa is
Um,
awesome.
I, she is amazing, and I've learned
Yeah.
so much from her. I appreciate her so much. Um, she was, she helped me on the beginning of this journey. Um, what I've learned is budget, budget, budget. Really like dig in and figure out how much money you can spend on the different areas that you need to target, right? You need money for products, you need money for advertising, marketing and PR, and you need to be strict about those budgets. I'm not so strict right now, right? Like, not yet. I'm still,
Sure.
again, I'm on a journey,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for the next campaign, it's going to be so strict and so surgical. And I think I know enough now to be very strategic and surgical about the budget. And I would say for everybody, if you want to make this indie thing happen and you want to continue to keep the lights on in your business, budget, 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 and don't break it. Like, be really surgical about it. But
Stay vigilant.
and learn as much as you can, man, because it's one thing. Again, my creative journey, you know, I'm I've been drawing since I was 3 years old. I've been selling this stuff and selling myself since 2005, 2006. And the one of the hardest things for me to learn wasn't that. The hardest thing for me to learn has been in the last 2 or 3 years is how to learn how to market these things to and cultivate your fan base. That's the hardest thing. That's just my mind. My creative mind is just not in tune to it. So I've been hitting the books, man. So if you can, especially if you can afford to pay for the knowledge or to learn from people like Melissa, look, spend that money, make that a part of your budget as well. I'm telling you, you will benefit from it. Budget, budget, budget.
Very cool. But Robert, since you're a first-time guest on the show, I usually like to ask first-time guests, what's a bit of creative advice you want to share with the listening audience?
Hmm. This sounds this sounds so whack, and I know if I told my wife this, she was like, "Why couldn't you think of something better?" Just do it. Just do it. Just whatever it is. Because there's so much around us that tries to kind of take us down or distract us. And but if you have a desire to do something, whether it's writing, whether it's being an artist, a colorist, a letterer, or editor, or whatever. You got to sit down and do it. Learn your craft as much as possible. Um, Hire people if you can to do the things that you don't want to do sometimes, but also in that learning and looking for a team to help out and just stealing it. Um, be honest with yourself because it there I've encountered people who have not been honest with themselves and it backfires, right? You know,
Mm.
I'm leaving it at that. So, but I just, the advice that I always say is just like, just do it. Be honest with yourself, and try to build a team as much as you can. And those have helped me out. Those have all, I'm here, still doing it after, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I will never tell people that this is going to be a simple process. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days.
Yeah.
Jason has heard me rant at length about the bad days. But it, it can be one of the most enriching things that you could ever creatively do. And it's not just just to kind of get your work out there and have people enjoy it, but also to enjoy the fact that you have done something. Is something that's it keeps me driven to keep telling these wacky stories. Um, but yeah, that's my advice to the next generation, as the old man. So
I would add an addendum to that. I would
Yeah.
say get excited about it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
way to push back against the forces that are a challenge to us or maybe obstacles to us is to get excited, man.
Yeah.
Like I push back by getting excited about this stuff. And there are people that I hold in my confidence that I might bitch and moan to. And I'm a firm believer of allowing your emotions to flow, right? Not necessarily doing negative things about it or whatever. But at the same time, if you're sad, be sad. Just don't necessarily, there are places to be sad, right? There are places to be angry and let that emotion flow in a way that's conducive to processing or pushing in or pulling in and out that energy, right?
Yeah.
So like Robert just said, I've heard him bitch and moan. He's heard me bitch and moan. We had a hiccup the first day, launch day, for 3 hours, and he was like, "Yo, you got this. Be cool." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't know what's gonna happen." He was like, "You got this," and that helped immensely. And we figured it out, and we moved forward. So I'm a big proponent of pushing back positively, that negative versus positive ebb and flow. And I like to get excited about the thing, man. Like I'm excited about what we do. I sit at home 20, this is all I do. I don't have a day job. So I'm here 24/7 formulating the craft and trying to figure out how to keep these lights on. And I think the positivity helps. If I do have sadness or anger, I put that into the creation of the book and the creation of the narratives, of the various books and stuff like that. And that's where that anger is more positively applied. Um, or the sadness or the depression or whatever,
Yeah.
whatever negative things. Um, so my only addendum to what Robert is saying is get excited, man. Get excited, light the forces of darkness up with your excitement. And we here, man. We're at even though there are forces of darkness, man, look what we're doing, man. We're making comics over here. Like that has been, still is my greatest dream. So living the dream, man.
Very, very cool. All right, guys, let's take a minute and I'll give you guys each a chance to plug yourself. Where can people find you? Where can people stay up to date with stuff you're doing? Robert, let's start with you.
So my website is Robert K. Jeffrey, Robert K. JEFFREY.com. Best place on social media would be Instagram, and that's Robert K. Jeffrey, Robert K. Jeffrey. And I think I got a Blue Sky account. Yeah, I do have a Blue Sky account, but I can never remember the call. So look for, I think it's RKJ Writer. Yeah, RKJ Writer. And you can find, all the stuff that I'm doing, anything that I've coming up. And yeah, that's me on the socials. And I wanted to say thank you for having us on. That
Yeah,
this has
absolutely,
been
man.
it's been pretty cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Jason, what about you, man? Oh, he get locked up?
I think I'm not too sure. I can say it for him. So if that'll help.
We'll give him a minute.
Okay.
In the meantime, yeah, I'm glad we can make this happen, man. Like I mentioned before, you and I have been friends on Facebook for a little while, but we've
Yeah.
never really been able to talk, and I'm glad we could talk in person. I'm a big fan of yours, man. Like we mentioned, Route 3 is an incredible book. So
Thank
I'm
you,
really
man.
excited for the possibility that might come back and seeing more from you. I'm very excited. It's gonna be good.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it becomes this thing of like it's always cool to put a face, or like an actual moving face
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
name. So yeah,
absolutely. Hey, you're back. Maybe.
Hey, I don't
Hey,
know what
there
happened
he
to my
is.
internet connection.
No worries,
Yeah.
man. Um, let's
Yeah.
give you a chance to plug yourself. Where can people stay up to date with you on social medias and websites and all
Oh,
that stuff?
so at 133 Art or at 133 Art Publishing, every social media channel, YouTube. We're on Blue Sky, but my assistant handles the Blue Sky. So I don't know what's going on. um, TikTok, Instagram for sure, Facebook for sure. So at 133 Art or at 133 Art Publishing, all those places. 133art.com is the hub where you can find all the stuff and buy all the stuff. But don't go there. Go to presale.133art.com and go to Kickstarter and go buy stuff on Kickstarter right now. We just hit 100 backers and we need some more backers and we're trying to get to that 7.5 stretch goal so that we can get to the next stretch goal and the next one. We have about 3 planned out so far. And that's where you can find me, man. And come holler at us on the socials and talk to us, man. Like we want to know what you guys want to see and how, we're figuring out how you guys want us to interact with you guys. And it's important just to hear from people. Like cuz we're out here making comics and building these comic worlds and it's
Yeah,
good to have feedback. So, come holler at us.
sounds good. But yeah,
Yeah.
make sure you check out the Kickstarter for One Nation, Arc One Omnibus. Like I said before, we'll get the link shared out so everyone can get a chance to take a look at it. Help spread the word. If you can't support, that's okay. You can still support by spreading the link out, let people know.
yes,
Let's get the
yeah,
word out. Um, I would like to thank Polygon Horizon. Their song Pizza Force is the song we use for the show. They're a great band. Go check them out on Bandcamp and SoundCloud. Give them some love. You can find Fueled by Weird on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can shoot me an email at fueledbyweird@gmail.com if you want to come on the show, talk about stuff, whatever you want to do. Fueled by Weirds on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you also check out Hassel Hutchison's shows on the Nerdy Manroom Show channel on YouTube. Haven't done this in a minute. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. You got the Nerdy Manroom Show there, Hassel's Review, Card Subject to Change, a whole bunch of good stuff over there. And Hassel and I, we make up the Stay Weird Network. It's a new podcast network dedicated to bringing some awesome back to the internet. Check us out at Stay Weird Network on YouTube. You can shoot us and on Instagram and send us an email at stayweirdnetwork@gmail.com. If you like the show, please leave a review and tell your friends. because word of mouth is my friend. And remember, kids, life's too short to be normal, so stay weird. Robert, Jason, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, guys.
Thanks, man.
Oh man, thanks for having us, man. As
Absolutely.
always, we coming back.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
back.
Definitely coming back.
Absolutely.